Hi mums, dads and carers. It's been a while, but I thought I should say a little something as we are going through something unprecedented. Something that has totally disrupted the life that we all knew and changed the way we live. Yes, I am talking about the coronavirus, COVID-19. I am not going to go into the scientifics of it as I am not a professional. I am not going to give my conspiracies as there are already loads out there. I am just a mom of two talking about my experiences. Maybe some of you can relate. When news of this outbreak first happened back in January, I have to say I was not that concerned. I thought it was going to be like other virus outbreaks where only a few cases spread across the world. I was saddened to hear about what was happening in China and worried for my husband who was traveling back from the Philippines via Hong Kong. When he came back, I was concerned that there had been no checks at the airport considering he had traveled through high-risk areas. Within a few weeks my concerns were rising as I was hearing about cases spreading and reaching Europe. After half-term in February, there were cases in Italy. Lots of schools had visited Italy during the holidays for ski trips. But yet everything was still pretty calm, while I was really starting to worry. I was looking for anyone who coughed or sneezed with concern, scared that they could have the virus. It was around this time my husband provided us with masks. He had been wearing them in the Philippines due to pollution. He was there during the volcano eruption. I was still reluctant to wear it and so were the kids, but we agreed that we would wear it on the bus and train, which we used to travel to work and school. Cases started to rise in Italy and France. The schools stated that children were unaffected, and although some had traveled to Italy, it was not to an affected area. My son reported that some children that went on the trip were sent home. Government started telling people that were traveling from affected places in Italy to self-isolate. Some people took this serious and some didn't. I know some people in my workplace came back to work after visiting Italy, as they went through the online checks and were fine. Rumors and concerns started to fly around the office as neighboring office buildings started reported cases. I think my turning point came when my husband made me watch Contagion. I was floored by it, and shocked by how much of it rang similar to what was happening here. I started to take it more serious at this point and started wearing my mask now, even though I would get stared at. I was the only person on the train wearing it. I became obsessed with the number of cases across the world, checking them daily. My use of hand gel had doubled. I always had a supply of hand gel and have always cleaned my desk at work, but my use of antibacterial gel was becoming obsessive. The government advice at this time was very basic: wash your hands while singing happy birthday. Washing your hands. That should be normal anyway. It felt like things were not being taken seriously. At this point I decided to stop going to the gym. By March, news of people stockpiling and panic buying was spreading. I remembered the movie and thought I would try to buy a little bit every day as I felt we would soon be heading towards a lockdown. Europe had already started locking down and I had been following what was happening in China. It still felt that everyone around me was pretty calm and blasé about it all, saying things like it only affects the elderly or high risk. I was in shock. It could soon be our families and friends. As an asthma sufferer, I was concerned after hearing about the symptoms and the effect on breathing. The schools were still adamant that children were safer in school, but my husband, who is also an asthma sufferer, and I decided that we were going to keep them home. We made the choice to quarantine them rather than have them possibly bring the virus into the home. The following week the schools closed anyway, and my work also decided we would work from home. The first week at home went well. The weather had brightened up. Homeschooling was a challenge, but I had printed the curriculum out and was using online resources to find work for them related to their subjects. We had to be a little creative. P involved a jog around the block as my garden is more of a yard and no space. The following week I was thankful for Joe Wick's P lessons, although Spider-Man moves made me nervous. For drama, I set the children a task to learn about mime and perform a sketch. That was fun, and was my evening entertainment sorted. Maths was a little challenging, so I got my daughter to teach my son as it's not my strong suit. In English, we did an inspector calls and a Midsummer Night's Dream. I had studied this in school, so it was fun to relearn it. History was also really good as my daughter was doing the Vietnam War, which I never did. So, I managed to learn some new things. There are some great resources online. The second week was a bit harder. As a family, we don't mind being home. We are all homebods, but very family orientated. We spend a lot of weekends with our extended families. So, we were starting to miss them, and Mother's Day had just gone by without our usual family dinner. We spent the second week trying to stick to the same schedule: exercise, schoolwork, work from home, dinner, game or movie night, but tiredness was starting to set in. The hours were getting lost somewhere and we were starting to go to bed out of schedule. This made waking up challenging. Towards the end of the week I didn't know what day it was and was looking forward to the Easter break. My son turned 13, so we had a at-home birthday party with lots of his favorite foods, and his sister baked a cake. We recorded him blowing out his candles and sent to his grandparents' aunts and uncle to watch. I enjoy Easter family time, and it's usually a symbol to me of rebirth, spring, and refresh. This year was different, but we were trying to remain upbeat and thankful. We, like other homes around the country, were out clapping for the NHS and other key workers at 8 p.m. Thursday evening. A show of solidarity, quite moving and made me feel hopeful. More game nights and movies nights over the Easter. My extended family also got together for a family quiz on Zoom. That was so much fun and great to see everyone. Week 4 I have stopped exercising as much and work is becoming dull, no office banter. I also write books for children, which was initially keeping me motivated. I recorded my first read aloud for younger children and worked on some new books ideas. But as my days started to merge and my nights became longer, my mornings were missing. I have started waking later and later. My mood is changing and has led to me and my daughter snapping at each other. We are all now in different rooms of the house for most parts of the day. Luckily my children have their own room. My husband in is the front room, and I am in the kitchen working and eating and working. I have allowed my son over the Easter to be the gaming addict he has always wanted to be, and let him pretty much do gaming all day. Some days I feel like I'm losing the plot. It's weird. I have never really been a big social butterfly and out every weekend type of person, but I am really struggling. I feel anxious when I do go out shopping due to the queuing and people not wearing masks. When I do see people wearing masks, I feel so sad though. The surrealness of it all, like a dream I can't wake up from. Or a movie that I'm in without a script. I feel like I have lost control of the simple things, but at the same time should be thankful and appreciative. I don't know if I'm being over the top or not, or if anyone else has these weird feelings since the lockdown. I am healthy and have my family. My loved ones are just a phone call away. So, there is a lot to be thankful and positive about. We are also lucky to have so much available at our fingertips: the internet, social media, books, games, television. We have so much entertainment right here at home. I write this on week 5. Today has been the hardest for me. It's the start of homeschooling again. I have never wished for the holidays to be extended. I am usually happy for them to go back to school, but not my school. I have struggled to get up this morning. I felt it over the weekend: the tiredness, exhaustion from doing what? Nothing. It's so weird that you can be tired having done nothing, and actually being physical gives you more energy. My mood is low and I feel a little teary. I do not want to say depressed, but I recognize the signs. I am lost in my own thoughts and not much for conversation. I just want to sleep. I lack motivation to do anything. Eating seems like a huge chore right now. let alone actually cooking something. I see all these other people online with it so together, cooking lots and doing great things with their time, and I feel guilty. I know I need to do something about this before I sink further. I have to fight my way out of this, but at the same time I do not want to put too much pressure on myself. The good thing is I recognize it, so I can try to find a way out. Writing this has helped. I will take it one day at a time. I have now stopped watching the news as much and have been watching lots of Netflix, Amazon Prime and YouTube. But I am feeling bored now and struggling. Some good has come from this, as we have managed to spend some quality time together as a family. The nation has united to support the NHS, which I hope will long continue after this crisis. More support is needed to our health service and other key workers that have kept this country going during this time. More recognition about the important job they do. This includes transport workers, drivers, bus, train, tube, delivery drivers, postmen/women, supermarket workers, grocers, maintenance, gas, water, electrical services, emergency services, and many more that we have come to rely upon right now. All of us have a part to play. Stay strong, mums, dads, carers, and children. Look after each other. Keep in touch with those you can't be with right now. I know it's hard. I don't share to add to the doom and gloom, just to help normalize some of what we are feeling. You may also have good days and bad days, ups and downs. As much as we try to remain positive and thankful, do not beat yourself up if you have a down day. Recognize it, allow it, and know you are not alone. Writing this has helped get my feelings in perspective, but I may wake up tomorrow better or not. But I wake up and live, and will do my best to continue to fight. One day this will all be over. If you are also feeling like this, get it out. Talk to someone if you can, or check out some of these organizations that are there to help. Don't think you are being silly or overreacting, as some of us don't say but are feeling the same way and may be embarrassed to admit. This is hard putting it out there, but I hope it can help others to see you are not alone. #keep talking, #mental health support.